Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about whether it's a good time to get started in house flipping. I was exactly where you are about 6 years ago, and I know how it feels to think that maybe the best time to get started in real estate investing was last year or even a few years back, and you may have missed the window. Luckily, I decided not to wait for the right time, and I believe you shouldn't either, and I'm going to tell you why. Watch until the very end of the video for a special offering for those who are interested in getting started in flipping houses. So I said I was in your shoes about 6 years ago. But the interesting thing is, 6 years ago was 2017, and the real estate market was completely different than it is today. Back then, the housing market was on an upward trajectory and home prices were going up rapidly. I was worried about the market reaching a peak and it would start turning, and I missed the boat of purchasing home more affordably. Today, the condition of the market is totally different because the interest rates are so high and the buyers are very hesitant, and the market is moving a lot slower and the market has gone down quite a bit. I mentioned the difference in the market condition because you realize that even though the market is completely the opposite from about 6 years ago, the fear is the same. Back then, I was worried about home prices getting too high and the market was about to turn, but nowadays your fear is probably very similar. You are worried about the home prices keep going down and you are going to be stuck in a declining market and you are going to lose a lot of money. So seeing that we're in completely different stages of the market cycle should make you realize that it's not really the timing that's the biggest worry that you have. It's really your own limiting belief that's preventing you from taking the next step. So no matter what stage of the market cycle we're in, you can always come up with excuses to worry. When the market is going up, you worry about it eventually turning and home prices started to drop. And when the market is already on the decline, you worry about it going down further. So when is it going to end? When are you going to feel really completely safe about investing in real estate? There's no good time if you are always looking at the glass as half empty. Now, as a house flipper of almost 6 years, I can honestly tell you that 2017 was the perfect time for me to get started in house flipping, not because of the timing of the market, but because of the timing for myself. I was really ready and I was there to make it happen. As you are watching this video, if you decide to pull the trigger today, I can assure you in 6 years, you'll feel the same way. So the question really shouldn't be whether it's the right time to get started flipping houses, but instead it should be whether you are ready to roll up your sleeves and start doing the dirty work so you can take control of your own life and become your own boss. That is not to say that it's not difficult to get started. It's always difficult to get started, as in everything, because when you are starting out, you don't know everything yet, and you are a lot more exposed to market risk, especially in this market, because the market is on the decline. There's a little less of buyer demand because of higher interest rate, and homes are taking longer to sell. I've put 3 houses on the market for sale this year so far, and 2 of them took over a month to sell. That's very rare for me on my flip projects in the Bay Area because homes, especially remodeled homes, usually sell pretty quickly because of the strong demand in the Bay Area. But everybody has to start somewhere, and without doing the hard work in the beginning, you'll never be able to get to the pro level and start making 6 or 7 figures a year and change your life. In this declining market, it's definitely riskier for beginners because if you don't buy the deal right, there is a higher chance of you losing money. But the good news is house flipping business actually is on both ends of the real estate transaction. You have to purchase a house first and you put in work to remodel it, and then afterwards you have to sell the house too. So you are both the buyer and the seller. As long as you stay within the same market cycle and within a short time frame to do both the buying and selling, then the effect of the market change is essentially canceled out. In a declining market like this, it's harder to sell houses and the home prices are lower, but it's easier to find good deals at a reasonable price. There's definitely a lot less competition. A lot of house flippers or aspiring house flippers have gone out of business in this recent market cycle. I know some of them personally that they are out of business because of how quickly they are trying to expand and they have too many deals going at the same time but not enough cash reserve. For aspiring house flippers, a lot of people are really scared of where the market is going to go. So it really creates a great opportunity for beginners to get started because of less competition. End users who were probably considering purchasing a fixer-upper in a hot market also have a wide range of properties for them to choose from, so they are less likely to want to purchase fixer-uppers because they just don't need to take on that much work and they can find homes that are remodeled or in move-in condition that they can save all the work themselves. So the less competition has caused fixer-uppers to stay a lot longer on the market, and they are selling for a lot cheaper than they were when the market was hot. And the sellers are definitely feeling it. They are more realistic than before and more willing to negotiate. So it's a really great opportunity to purchase fixer-uppers at a very reasonable price. What I'm trying to tell you is there's really no perfect time to get started in flipping houses because it's impossible to time the market. There's interest rates, there's the general state of the economy and catastrophes that are completely out of our control, and the state of the market can change in an instant. For anyone, whether you are experienced or inexperienced investor, there's always fear if you seek it out. When the market is going up, you worry about it turning and the market declining eventually. And when the market is declining, is soft, you worry about it keep going down and down and you lose a lot of money when doing deals. So there is no completely safe environment for you to get started investing if you feel that way and if that's what you worry about. So the perfect time for you to get started in house flipping or real estate investing is not the perfect time, the safest economic environment, but the time when you get ready to do the business and learn the business the right way. So what's the right way to flip houses so you can reduce your risk to a minimum? Interestingly, it's actually the same way to flip houses in any market, anytime. It's the exact same way you do it. You just want to make sure you are doing it correctly so that you really control your risk and you can maximize your profit. So first of all, you want to be conservative with your after repair value, the ARV. For those of you who don't know, ARV is the sale price that you estimate when you purchase a flip. So when you are buying a fixer-upper, you are thinking at the time after all the remodel is done, how much this house can be sold for. That's your ARV. Your ability to accurately estimate the ARV ultimately determines whether you are going to have a profit or a loss on a project. And the more conservative you are with the ARV, the more upside potential there is and the less downside potential there is. Second is to be generous with your rehab cost. The rehab cost is how much it's going to cost you to renovate the entire project. Even if you got a few contractor bids, you still want to be very generous with the estimate because this is where you can have some buffer so that it covers any unexpected costs. Unexpected costs almost always happen in a flip, and when you have that budgeted in your formula, you can feel more rest assured to complete the entire project without having to worry about running out of money. The third is to build in a worst case scenario. When you are doing a flip, especially when the market is declining, you want to know what the worst case could be, and you want to incorporate it into your flip formula. So for example, if you purchase a flip that you think is going to complete in about 4 months' time, so when you purchase the flip, you want to think about how much the market could decline in a worst case scenario. And if that's a 10-15%, you can have it as your margin. So you build in a 10 or 15% margin, so even if the worst case scenario happens, you can still at least break even. The fourth is quick turnaround. A quick turnaround is always important when you are flipping houses because, as we mentioned earlier, you are on both sides of the transaction, the buying side and the selling side. And when you are staying within the same market cycle, when you are buying and selling within the same stage of the market, then any effect of the market changes essentially cancel itself out. But when the market is declining, if you are taking longer to complete a flip, then you are exposed to more market risk, and the chance of the home prices dropping and you're losing money is greater and greater. When you are following these 4 guidelines, you are going to pass up a lot of leads because your underwriting is very strict. But this strict underwriting will allow you to really minimize your risk, and when you end up picking up a deal, it's going to be an amazing deal. I'm working on a special offering for those who are interested in getting started in flipping houses. So there's a link in the description below. Go to that link and submit 1 or 2 of the most burning questions you may have regarding house flipping or real estate investing, and I'll make sure to get back to you and also keep you in the loop on the program I'm developing. I hope this video was helpful in guiding you to get started in flipping houses, and if you enjoyed it, smash the like button below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.